Imagine grabbing a cucumber from your local market. Fresh, green, harmless. Now imagine that same cucumber carrying enough poison to wipe out half a city. Sounds insane, right? But in 2024, that's exactly how Mexican cartels began sneaking their product into the United States, through the food supply meant to feed millions. And when the government realized just how deep the problem went, they turned to an unexpected weapon: the U.S. military. For decades, cartels relied on tunnels, hidden compartments, and corrupted border officials. But by 2024, those tricks were no longer enough. Security had improved. Inspections got tighter. So the cartels adapted. They didn't just move drugs across the border. They moved them inside the very food America eats. Pineapples stuffed with powder, shrimp shipments hiding secret packages, and cucumbers packed with crystalline poison. It was a system designed for one reason: because only about 8% of produce shipments ever get inspected. If inspectors waited too long, the food spoiled. And cartels knew it. Fresh produce had become the perfect Trojan horse. The scale of this operation was shocking. In Gainesville, Georgia, police pulled over what looked like a routine cucumber truck. Inside, they didn't find fresh vegetables. They found over 700 pounds of meth, enough for more than 500,000 deadly doses. A few months later, in Atlanta, agents seized a shipment of celery that turned out to be the largest meth bust in DEA history. What looked like groceries was actually worth hundreds of millions on the street. So how do these operations actually work? It starts in Mexico. Bribed workers at packing plants slide the packages in. Truck drivers are coached to stay calm under pressure. The shipments move through legal border crossings, protected by the very fact that they look ordinary. Random inspections catch maybe 1 in 10. The truth: most busts don't come from luck. They come from human intelligence, paid informants, rival cartel snitches, or undercover work. Without that, most trucks roll straight through, unloading their poison into U.S. streets without anyone ever noticing. And even when someone is caught, the system feels broken. Take Rufino Perez. Arrested in 2001, deported several times, yet always came back. For the cartels, deportation isn't the end. It's a delay. They treat their operatives like soldiers on rotation. Pay $10,000, and they're back on U.S. soil, ready for another run. It's a revolving door that's almost impossible to shut. But in 2025, everything changed. Donald Trump returned to the White House and immediately escalated the fight. He reclassified fentanyl as a weapon of mass destruction. That single move changed everything. Sentences got harsher, legal definitions shifted, and for the first time, cartels weren't just seen as criminals. They were branded as foreign terrorist organizations. That meant the DEA, FBI, and ICE could suddenly work alongside the U.S. military. The Treasury Department froze cartel bank accounts. Within months, arrests spiked by 20%. With the new rules, busts started to look less like police stops and more like military raids. The Gainesville cucumber truck wasn't just pulled over. It was surrounded like an enemy convoy. The Atlanta celery seizure unfolded like a battlefield op, coordinated between intelligence agencies and tactical teams. And the message was clear: America was no longer just playing defense. But here's the problem. America imports over 60 million tons of food every year. Only a tiny fraction can realistically be checked. Businesses push politicians to keep trade moving. Nobody wants spoiled produce or higher prices. And that's the weakness the cartels thrive on. They don't need to win every battle. They just need a few trucks to make it through. One successful shipment can flood entire cities. And that's the terrifying truth. The system designed to feed America has become one of the enemy's most effective weapons. Military raids and frozen accounts might slow them down, but as long as there's demand, the cartels will keep finding ways in. So ask yourself this: if cucumbers and celery can carry enough poison to devastate a community, how secure is the food on your own table? And more importantly, what happens when the next shipment gets through unnoticed?